Damon Wayans joined us at our San Diego Brims by the Bay convention. We had the pleasure of interviewing him for his recently released book entitled Red Hats. Enjoy the interview. Hi, I'm Emily Yost, and I'm here with actor, comedian, and author Damon Wayans. Damon, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Emily. It's good to be here.
Okay, so I'm going to cut right to the chase. There are women that know about the Red Hat Society, but what inspired you to write about the Sisterhood?
I tried to join, and they said no. I didn't have the equipment. No, actually, it's a long story, and since we have time, I'm going to tell you. I was stuck creatively, and so I did a show that went into syndication on, and you make some decent money, and then you go, all right, what's next? And so I went to Europe, and I said, I'm going to figure out, who I am as an artist. Mm-hmm. And I ran into Lionel Richie.
Did you know he was going to be there?
No. I saw him in a restaurant, La Costa, in Paris, and we sit down, we're talking, and I'm telling him why I'm there. He's like, man, I come to Paris all the time. He says, it's beautiful. It's for artists, And I'm saying, I'm stuck. So he says, you need to go see Vita Dantes. And Vita Dantes, I know her from, dating Marilyn Manson.
Right.
So he takes me to this burlesque club, and she comes out on stage, but he's raving about her. She comes out on stage in this weird little sequence outfit. She strips down to pasties and this rhinestone G-string. The crowd is going crazy, as if they saw
something phenomenal.
Yeah. She sits in this apparatus and spins around, and water drenches her. She gets up and she leaves. And Lionel tells me, he looks at me, he goes, see, it's simple. You just show them a little bit of what they got. He said, artists tend to over-analyze, and we complicate what the people really want from us, which is just a glimpse of our talent, however small our talent is. And so I said, all right. So I left that night inspired because I got what he said. And I said, I got to find simple stories. So the next day I'm walking through Paris. I bought a camera, and I'm just going to take pictures for inspiration. And I start seeing all these red hat ladies. And I didn't know what they were, who they were. But what I noticed was how happy they were. And I thought at first it was just a group, right? And then as I saw them everywhere. They were in cafes, they were, outside the opera houses. And I'm like, okay, there's something here, And it kind of registered in the back of my mind. Then I fly to New York to go back to L.A.
Right.
But I didn't want to do that whole 15-hour trip. So I stopped in New York to see my mom, and she tells me she joined the Red Hats.
Had she just joined the Red Hat Society?
She had just joined the Red Hats.
Wow. That just kind of made sense.
Yeah, so it just okay, there's really something here.
Right.
And then I seen this amazing change in my mother.
What was the change?
Happier, more outgoing. My mom raised 10 children, and she sacrificed friendships.
Yeah.
It's it's hard to have friends.
I get it.
Who understands? You have 10 kids. I can't call you back. It's it was, now that I have raised my own children, I understand, what that must be like. And then all the children left. Most of us live in California. She still lives in New York. And, I realized that she needed friends. She needed friendship. And then that's what she found with the Red Hats. I mean, they all go to Marie Callender's together, and they go to the casino, and they just have all this fun, and she's always excited about her sisters.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't want to simplify, this opportunity happened for you, but the characters are not simple.
No, well, you can't write a novel.
That wasn't simple. So, I know it was an eye-opening experience. Anytime you do something creatively, you learn something from it. What do you think you learned from writing this book?
What I learned is you got to prepare now for the future.
What way?
In terms of your joy. You take you wherever you go. And if you're not joyful here, you're not going to be joyful there. It's about fixing relationships now, because I realize, on my deathbed, I don't want to be saying I'm sorry.
That's right.
I want to be, I want the people who are around me that love me to know that I loved them real hard while I was here. And I think that you have that opportunity. While you have life, you have hope. In the book, Alma, if she allowed herself to stay in that, that despair, that anger, that bitterness, she'd die a very unhappy woman. But now she has, I think that if you don't have joy, it's hard to really live life.
Being a part of the Red Hat Society, we get it. We get the joy that it creates, and it's so exciting to hear you talk about your mother, how it changed her. There's so many stories like that we hear constantly. One aspect of our mission statement, we deal with fulfillment of lifelong dreams. So we have sisters who love to write their own novels and create their own opportunities like that. Is there any advice you'd give to any of our sisters who are out there really thinking about writing a book of their own?
Oh yeah, I think that you have to start with something you love. And if you have something that you love and you make it it's like raising a child, really. You have to really care for it. You have to think about it all the time. You have to, even in the back of your mind when you're not writing, you have to write. And I say write in increments. Most people fail at writing novels because they sit down and they're just full of all this passion and then they get stuck. And they got stuck because they move too fast. What I would do is I write 2 hours a day, and that's it. And then I stop because I want to A, reflect on what I wrote, and B, think about what I'm going to write. And then the next time I sit down, I have 2 hours to get it all out. And then I stop. It's like, it's teasing the writer as opposed to exhausting him.
Interesting. Do you find that you go back and correct
Sometimes,
yourself?
But I think the trick is to plow forward. Writing is rewriting. Until it's out in the stores, you're constantly playing around with it and trying to fix it and make it
How long
better.
had you been writing the book?
I wrote the first 100 pages in 10 days. I did 10 pages a day. And then I submitted that and I got the deal. Deals take forever. And then I kind of procrastinated around. So it took me about a year, because it's hard to get excited, so someone said, we want to buy it. And then they go back and forth and tell you why they don't want to pay you for it. You know what I mean? So that kind of messes with you, creatively. And that's why I say pick something you love and that you know about and that you just feel you have to tell a story about, because that'll help you through the other stuff, which is, stuff that's designed to block creativity.
Right. How does your mother feel about you writing this book?
I honestly didn't tell her until like 2 weeks before the book came out. She started hearing from, her sisters that, I have this book coming out. And I think it's because my mom knows that, my sense of humor. I've been known to, have a different sense of humor. And I didn't want her to think that that's what the book was about.
Right.
And if she didn't know, she would say, Day, you can't put that book out. And then I wouldn't be able to put the book out. Now the press is rolling and, everything is moving forward. If I would do whatever my mom wanted. So I didn't give her that power.
Okay. So I also heard you were turning 50 this year.
Yeah, September 4th.
Congratulations, first of all. That's a big deal in all things red hatting. So we have some ideas we could share with you if you really want to know how you really should be ringing it in.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I was going to do, but you go ahead.
What are you planning on doing for your birthday?
I don't really celebrate birthdays, but I think 50 is something that I want to remember.
Right.
When I was 40, I got in the best shape of my life, and I drove around in a convertible with my shirt off.
Nice.
That was my gift to myself.
I miss that.
Yeah. And then for 50, because I can't get in that kind of shape anymore, I decided I'm going to buy myself a room full of toys.
Oh.
And I'm going to play with toys just to see if I can recapture the joy I used to have playing around with a train set and a race car and a rock'em sock'em robot.
I actually know you can. I have those all over my house right now. You'll have a great time.
I'm excited about it.
So you've got grandkids, I hear.
I have the most special grandkids ever.
Do they know who their granddad is? Do they get that?
They're starting, like, they see me on TV, and I think Wife and Kids comes on at the hour that children wake up now. So they watch it, and a couple of them have been on shows, so they kind of understand it, but they just love me. They call me Pop Pop. It's like there's no I don't think they care. They just know that I have like access. Like I took them to see Justin Bieber, and like Papa can do magical things. That's what they know. Like we can go in the store and whatever.
Justin Bieber is magical.
Yeah, whatever they want, they can get. That kind. My granddaughter had that revelation. We were shopping, and she was, Papa, I feel like I can buy anything. I was like, baby, you can.
And you can
And
with
you
Papa.
can, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're just amazing. 4 of them.
What are their ages?
2, 4, 5 going on 6. She'll correct me. And 7 going on 8.
Wow. So, going back to this for a minute, as an entertainer, I imagine you look for inspiration around you.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a lot of inspiration right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, is there anything that the Red Hat Society is leading you in terms of being inspired?
Just really in life. I went through a midlife crisis, and probably from the ages of 40 until like 48, I went through the most emotional transition of my life. I started regretting my past, things that I've done, fear of my future, of my children, and I just went through all these emotions, like, depressed, and I came out on the other side. And the other side is beautiful. The things that used to affect me, I'm like this in life, and it's
That would
just
be a straight line now.
a very peaceful place, and I'm better artistically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better socially. I'm better as a dad. In hindsight, I wish that I would have had grandkids before I had kids, because I would raise my kids the way I raised my grandkids. That same kind of love, and I don't have to be so hands-on with them, but that's what I guess maturity, getting older, teaches you that it's not, you can't put all your hopes and dreams in a kid, and some of them will fail.
We all fail at one moment in our lives. Yeah. Just so you know, you are one of the very select few men that have been invited in to something that we do. So first of all, congratulations, and consider yourself lucky.
I do.
How do you feel about being at a convention filled with some very good-looking, blinged-out women?
I'm excited. I've from the book signings I've done, I've met a lot of red hatters, and they've been very sweet. Some of them a little aggressive, but I look at it with the love that they're giving it. What's really wonderful about women in general is the fact that they move in packs. Like they have a support system everywhere they go. Men don't have that. We're lone rangers from youth to the grave, and we don't open up. I don't have any male friends who I can open up and really share my feelings with, because if I do, they'll laugh at me and they'll ridicule. You're not supposed to feel that way. They would point me to Santa Monica Boulevard. And it's unfortunate that we don't have support groups for men. I don't know of any, and I just think that the
Well, now it's up to you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is there any message, if you could say, starting with the two of you,
Yeah.
Is there any message that you would like to give to the ladies out there? Any message you want to give to ladies red hatting?
Continue to inspire. Continue to love life and the people you have in your life, because it's a roller coaster ride, and it's over really fast. And so make sure when you get on it that you can appreciate all the highs and lows. And when you get off, look at that picture of you, with your hands up in the air smiling, because that's what it's about, enjoying the ride.
Thank you. Damon, we truly appreciate you being here at the convention, and I appreciate the time with you.
Thank you.
Have a great time, and sign away. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Damon Wayans. For more information on how you can join the fun by becoming a member of the Red Hat Society, visit us at redhatsociety.com or call us toll-free within the U.S. at 866-FUN-IT-50. Calls outside of the U.S., contact 714-738-0001.